please come forward for the invocation?
Will you please bow your heads with me? God, we ask you blessing upon the men and the women of the 39th Security Forces Squadron. They've contributed to the mission in immeasurable ways despite the COVID-19 pandemic, extended tours, social unrest, and the many changes and challenges set before us. But today we are here to welcome and pray for Lieutenant Colonel John Sullivan as he assumes command. We look forward to learning from what he brings to the fight, his experiences, his humility, and his leadership. Giving him grace and wisdom as he turns to you in the moments of decisions, and give him the capacity needed to do what is good and what is required, that is, to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with you. Though they're unable to be here, we're also thankful for the support of his family and his close friends. We wouldn't be here, and the journey wouldn't be as meaningful without them. So, deepen his relationship with his loved ones back at home despite their time apart. Protect them in their absence, and provide Lieutenant Colonel John Sullivan with the grace and gumption needed to lead us well. It is in your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Senior Airman Chandler. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Before we begin today's ceremony, there are several distinguished guests who have joined us today, and we would like to take a moment to recognize them. Commander, 39th Air Base Wing, Colonel Randy P. Oakland. Vice Commander, 39th Air Base Wing, Colonel Shelley Mendieta. In addition to the leadership present, we are very pleased to extend a warm welcome to all commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, friends, family, and community members that have joined us for this event virtually. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you our presiding officer for today's ceremony, Commander of the 39th Weapons Systems Security Group, Colonel James K. Meyer.
Thank you, Sergeant Bryant. Wow, what a day today, right? We get to celebrate an assumption of command. Lieutenant Colonel Sullivan is going to take command of the 39th Security Forces Squadron. Fantastic day and a fantastic venue. This is actually the first time I've actually had an opportunity to do an event here at the club, and boy, the staff here puts on a heck of a show. What a great venue we get to have today. A few more thank yous. Colonel Oakland, thank you for being here. Colonel Mendieta, thank you as well. Appreciate it. Sergeant Havenar, Sergeant Brown, Sergeant Bryant, thank you for hosting today and for your team. Also, Captain Fong. Protocol, as always, doing great things for us along with PA and Com. Thank you guys for being here today and helping out. To the other chiefs, commanders, and of course the sheepdogs of the SFS, thanks for being here today. Thanks for celebrating with us. And to our host nation, Turks as well, thank you for your support and being here. To the folks watching from back home, we wish you could be here, of course, today, but thanks for joining us. Today is an awesome event. It's a great opportunity to celebrate a great unit that does amazing things. I've only been here, it's been less than 2 weeks I've been in command, and already I've been impressed by the sheepdogs of the SFS. They've done a whole bunch of great things over the last year, and if you don't mind, I'm going to name a couple of them right now. First of all, Colonel Sullivan, you may have heard some of this stuff, but I'll shout out to the folks that are watching on camera so they know what you're getting yourself into. First of all, every day, 24/7, 365 days a year, these defenders are working hand in hand with our host nation Turks in Force Protection Condition Charlie to defend this base, to defend the assets that we have here, the resources, and the airmen that I'll call insular home. They do that flawlessly. A few more things they've knocked out of the park this past year. They absolutely dominated the recent NSI. When the inspectors came in, they recognized that the wing was doing great things and the defenders were leading the way, and they ended up with the highest possible score that the wing could receive. Great job. Along with that, the unit happened to pull down 13 superior performers, 4 outstanding teams, and they were even benchmarked for their Arming Use of Force program. They were kicking some ass, huh? So not only do that, but they happened to do a couple other things, because number one, that NSI came 3 months early. Well, that was nice. They still knocked out the park. But then they had a few other things go on. They had an unprecedented week-long non-standard storage configuration operation, again, during Force Protection Condition Charlie, the first time they've ever done that in this theater here in UCOM. Additionally, they had the largest Protection Level 1 logistics movement mission in 16 years here in Europe, where they moved and supported the mission for $36 billion, that's with a B, $36 billion in assets. And they did it again flawlessly. And of course, over the last few months, they've set the standard. Surety wings across our Air Force have looked to Incirlik and the sheepdogs on how to get things done. And they've modeled the way that these guys are doing their mitigation ops, they've modeled it at other bases. Fantastic. They've set that standard across the board on what they do and how they do it. So Colonel Sullivan, you're getting an outstanding team. You're taking command of an outstanding group. But for the sheepdogs, you guys aren't getting the slacker, all right? This guy's been around the block a little bit. You can tell that by his gray hair. It's a good headed gray hair though, so it's all right. Cool. Not only does he have a good head of gray hair, but he's got some brains underneath there too. He comes to us from the bowels of the Pentagon and the halls of Capitol Hill, where he was one of the Air Force's select few legislative liaisons. More specifically, he was the, if I can get this right, the military legislative assistant, is that the right term? Sir. Okay, for Representative Scott out of Georgia. And he basically provided a military liaison to the representative's office. The representative was pretty impressed by Colonel Sullivan, and I'll get to his comments a little bit later. But he's done some great things just in his last assignment. But previous to that, he's been identified as a distinguished graduate from 3 different official courses. He's also won numerous wing and MAGCOM level awards. And he's also been recognized at the Air Force level for his leadership, winning the Lance P. Sijon Award a few years ago. That's a pretty damn impressive resume. But he's ready to serve. He's ready to lead. And this is a little bit of what he's been called out as: a ferocious, mature, and deliberate leader. Representative Scott said, he's a great leader, but he's a better teammate. He's doing amazing things, and he's the future of our Air Force. Sully, man, we're proud. We're excited to have you as part of our team. We expect you to be a great leader for this unit. We expect you to be a great teammate and continue being a great teammate with the wonderful team that we have here at Team Titan. We expect you to lead these defenders to do great and amazing things. And we expect you to lead them because they're the future of our Air Force. Do so well. I know you will. And while we're happy to have him as part of our family, as part of our team, we also know that having him here doesn't come without a cost. And that cost is to his family. To Shannon, his wife, to his daughter Allison, and to his son Levi. Thank you for sharing John with us over the next year. I know that the last year hasn't been an easy one, and this next year won't be easy either. But I also know, Shannon, that you're in good hands with Allison. Trust me in that when I say John's here doing an important mission for our country, but he's also in good hands here. We're going to take good care of him. To Levi and Allison, I've had a couple opportunities to talk to your dad about family, and I can tell in the way he talks about you and the light he gets in his eyes when he does so that he's so proud of you. I ask that over the next year you take care of yourselves, but Levi with you out on the West Coast and Allison on the East Coast, make sure you're doing everything you can to take care of each other over the next year as well. And both of you make sure you're taking care of your mom. With that, thank you to everyone that's here. Of course, we're here for a specific reason, and that's to get this Assumption of Command taken care of. So let's go ahead and move on and do it. Sully, join me.
Thank you, Colonel Meyer.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Assumption of Command.
Publish the orders.
Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force, Headquarters, 39th Air Base Wing, Incirlik Air Base, Turkey, Special Order GS 20-03, under the provision of the Air Force Instruction 51-604, and effective 13 June 2020, Lieutenant Colonel Kevin McMahon is relieved of command of the 39th Security Forces Squadron, and Lieutenant Colonel John L. Sullivan assumes command.
Set your face.
Sorry, team command.
Cool. Yeah. Ready? Front. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce the Commander, 39th Security Forces Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel John L. Sullivan.
All right, well, good morning, everybody. I promised I was going to make this quick because even though I'm really looking forward to meeting everybody and I have a lot of thank yous to get to, there are some defenders I have not gotten to meet yet that is going to be job number one. So first, thank you to our host, the folks here at Turkey. It's that partnership and that trust and that sharing that make this all possible. And so I'm appreciative of being part of that team. Colonel Oakland, Colonel Mignetta, Chief who's not here today. Sir, I mean, you're the reason why I'm here. It's your trust in me to secure and defend the men and women here at Incirlik Air Base that's making this all possible. So I appreciate that, and I look forward to doing a good job. Colonel Meyer, thank you for the kind words. I don't know where you dug that stuff up.
I made it up.
I appreciate you making all that stuff up about me. So you bring a spark of professionalism that is needed for me to see from senior leaders, and I super appreciate that. And I know you'll keep me on task to make sure that I'm taking care of these defenders. So to my peers, to the commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, this is a team game. And I'm going to need your friendship and your advice over the next year to make this all effective, and I really appreciate that. To my family, Shannon, Levi, and Allison, the Colonel summed it all up. I wish you guys were here because there are some great folks here, a great mission, and I wish you guys could see everything that they do. I will keep you up to date. I'll FaceTime when I can and let you know what we're doing, and I promise to keep safe. To the team to put this together today, thank you so much. There are a lot of you folks to thank, but with the environment right now, I know it's tough to communicate and cooperate and get it all put together, so I am super appreciative of everything that you guys did to make this happen. And then, of course, the final thanks goes out to the defenders. As a career defender, this is what I love to do. I owe you guys a lot. I've seen a little bit of what you do. I read your EPRs and decks and reports, and I know you're doing great stuff. Job number one for me is to continue to learn what you do, and job number two is just going to be to keep up. So do me one favor as you guys go back, that next phone call or FaceTime you make back to your friends or family, say thank you on my behalf for your family and your friends that are sharing you with the Air Base Wing for this year, because I really, really appreciate that. And sir, I'm ready to get to work.
Cool.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Sullivan. Ladies and gentlemen, the men and women of the 39th Weapons Systems Security Group welcome Lieutenant Colonel Sullivan as he assumes his new duties as commander of the 39th Security Forces Squadron. On behalf of the men and women of the 39th Security Forces Squadron, we would like to extend our appreciation to Colonel Meyer for presiding over today's ceremony. Thank you to all of those who joined us online and to those who made today's ceremony possible. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for the playing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. This concludes our ceremony for today.